Hey guys, so I just wanted to touch base with you guys and show y'all what a typical morning is for me when, say it's a Monday and I'm getting ready to plan my week on what loads I'm going to take or where I'm going to be or if I'm going to take a load today or whatever. So generally, coffee first. Always coffee first. And then usually, if any of the brokers that I've run for before, usually they'll text me if they have any loads that they're going to have, say today or later in the day, or as soon as they get a load, they'll text me. Brokers like to work with drivers they've already worked with, especially if they done well with the price, if they made money on their load, the driver was happy. If it was a mutual good deal, everybody wants to keep working. So if you find a good broker, that's a good way of doing it. So if your brokers don't have loads, the next thing you do is you get you a good load board. So right now, how I am set up, I have a lot of free stuff, free load boards on my phone. And they're generally not good. I've not got the first load off of them. I look at them occasionally, but they've been some good loads on there that I missed because the person ended their listing early and the person got it at a really good rate. If they got it for the last rate that was up there. That don't mean they did. But so I have some of those. But the load board, and here comes lightning. She thinks she owns the place, so she has to come by every now and then. She sits right here and looks out the window, so she's ready to go outside. So, but anyway, the load board that I use, or I'm using right now, is Truckstop. So I initially started with the cheap version, and after a few days, after a day, I realized I wasn't ever going to get a load because the good loads that did hit it were gone by the time I called, which that's still the case a lot of times. But there's I think it's a minute delay from the pro version versus the cheaper version. I want to say I called and upped my package to the pro version. I want to say within a couple hours I had my very first load, and that is even getting turned down by a couple brokers because my authority was new. So even going through all that, I think within 2 or 3 hours I had my first load. And I stay connected with that company still today, or with the broker. And so I'm going to run some more loads for them. So it paid off quick. There's a lot more options on Truckstop Pro that I like. You're going to learn, if you're just getting into Hotshot, and you're going to learn what factoring is. You're going to learn about, looking at the broker's credit score. Truckstop puts that on there. So basically what I do, I see a load I like, I click on it. And then I go to more details. I look and see if it's a good broker. Then I call, try to do everything just quick, because it happens that fast. And then, before there goes lightning again. Lightning, you got to do something different. Go. But before I take the load, when I get the rate con, while I'm waiting on the rate con, and if it's a new company, while I'm doing my carrier packet, I run that company through my factoring company and make sure I can get it factored. Because if I can't get it factored, I don't want it. Another key note on factoring. So I have a factoring company that I use. I actually use Truckstop factoring. So I use Truckstop Pro version load board, and I use Truckstop factoring. I may make a video just totally separate on this one time, but if some companies that you run for will have their own factoring company or something, all quick pay, or different versions of ways they can pay you quick. Well, you need to look. You need to look because a lot of times their rates are a lot cheaper than the rates you're paying. So, like, the fur babies are playing. So, like, Truckstop, my Truckstop factoring, it's like 2.99%. I ran a load for a company the other day that they were going to pay me through their version, whatever, factoring or quick pay, for 1.55. So you want to use that, you know. So look while you're figuring out your loads. So, so you look at all their credit, you call them, and you get their load, and then everything else is pretty much simple. You know, you do your carrier packet, and there's videos on that. I may do one day. I will say that all carrier packets are different, and but pretty much the same. So they're going to ask for basically the same information all the time, and my wife has got a file set up with all that in it, and you'll get used to it. You'll know your insurance company's phone number. If you got an agent that does your insurance, that emails that for you, or like Progressive, you can get online. I've never done online on Progressive. My agent always wants me to call them and let them do it, so I don't know why. But I do have a number to call on the weekends if I need it through Progressive, but never used it. That's another thing. Generally, if you don't have a load booked by Friday, you're not going to get one over the weekend. Unless maybe, you know, you might, but the odds go way down. You might get a car or something or some equipment. But just remember that. So, if you don't get a load by Friday evening, you know, you might expect to stay there for a while. So, but anyway, that's the morning. That's what I go through every morning. I'm sitting here, I've got the Truckstop load board running right behind this phone, and I've got it set so that as soon as something listed on the Truckstop, it pulled up. So just remember that. You got to hustle. Remember the times, because if you're hauling like I do, I'm in Alabama. A lot of my loads and my brokers operate Atlanta area. So they're an hour ahead. So you got to get your rear out of bed and get up and get on that load board. And you got to hustle. You got to watch. You got to eat your breakfast in front of that screen. Nobody ever made a lot of money hot-shotting, from what I hear, sitting on their rear and letting somebody else do it for them. So you got to do that. You got to make connection. Another thing, don't rely on the load board to make you good money. Get out there and knock on doors and find some direct contacts. I am doing a deal just this week with a local company that is an awesome, awesome deal. I actually fell into this deal. If you start promoting that you're going to start hauling locally or over the road, share it on your Facebook, because word of mouth gets around. I have gotten, this will be the third local direct contact just by people knowing I did it. People I know that knows I do it. So, but the only way they know you do it is you got to get out and knock on doors, send them text. If you know plant managers, send them text. Even though they may not use hotshot drivers regularly all the time, they may call you one day because they may buy a piece of equipment and need it hauled in, or sell it and might need it hauled out. So, regardless of whether they can use you on a regular basis, put your name in front of them so that if they ever need something, you're there. Because that one load may pay a bunch. You just never know. The deal I'm doing this week is a super duper great paying deal. And I'll have some videos about that later. And two, a lot of drivers, hotshot drivers, is willing to help. So don't get mad, don't get ill when the few jerks on some of the Facebook groups run their mouth, because I have found, just watching, most of them don't know what they're talking about, and others are just stirring up trouble. So just remember that. So there's always that person who wants to stir up trouble. And then there's always maybe the jealous person that wants to do what you do, but don't have the drive to do what you do. So don't never let those Facebook boards, Facebook groups, comments on your videos, if you do videos, don't never let those people ruin what you want to do. Not, change your mind or get you upset or whatever. There's plenty of guys and ladies out there that will help you. So just remember that. And if I can ever help you, I will. Just shoot me a message and I'll try my best to help you. If I can't, I'll try to send you in the right direction. So, but great work ethic. You got to do that. I suggest a cup of coffee before you start. But alright, you're doing it. So anyway, I'll try to do some, maybe some bunch of loads just popped up just then. So in my area. So may call on one or two of them. So I may do a video on the Truckstop load board later. I'm doing all my videos on my iPhone, and so I can't. If there's a way of doing it, I wish somebody would tell me. I can't go from selfie mode to screen mode without just turning the phone around. Then I can't see what I'm filming. So I know I probably need to get me a camera and do it better, but I just don't, just hadn't went there yet. So I like my phone, I like the big screen, I like seeing what I'm recording. So, but anyway, but I may do one just on Truckstop in a few days. I may do one on what I know about factoring. So, but anyway, I hope this helps you guys. Remember, it's all in the hustle. If you're going to make big money, you got to work hard and you got to do big things. And, you got to get out there and work on your days off. There is no days off, especially when you're starting. So, alright guys, hope you have a good one. And be safe. And a company I used to work for said, arrive alive. If you do safe things, that helps you have a safe trip. Love you guys.